Good morning, students. The next topic in Islamiyat is the conquest of Makkah. And this is very important question in Islamiyat syllabus. This normally come in the paper. So concentrate yourself. And if this question come in the paper, to get A grade, these points should be mentioned. These points should be written. The year of the incident and whatever happened during and at the end of the incidents. It should also include the names of the important associates of the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we are going to start now. Under the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, Banu Khuza had become ally of the Muslims, while Banu Bakr had allied themselves with the Makkans. The Quraysh quite impatiently observed the growth of the Islam for 2 years, that is from 628 to 630 AD. That was 6 AH to 8 AH. Finally, they instigated Banu Bakr against Banu Khuza and provided them weapons. Banu Bakr attacked Banu Khuza at night and killed innocent men. Banu Khuza reported the matter to the Holy Prophet ﷺ in Medina. The Quraysh in the meantime realized their mistake, and Abu Sufyan hastily reached Medina to approach the Holy Prophet ﷺ. But the Holy Prophet ﷺ told him that the Meccans had to choose one of the 3 options. And the options were to pay the blood money. Number 2, to break their alliance with the Banu Bakr. And the third condition was to declare that the treaty stood dissolved. So the Prophet ﷺ asked the Abu Sufyan to choose one of the 3 options, and these were the options. The Quraysh could not accept the first 2 conditions, and therefore the Holy Prophet ﷺ began secret preparations to march towards the Makkah. He raised an army of about 10,000 troops and marched toward the Makkah in January 630 Ramazan 8 AH. The army included the Muhajirin, the Ansar, the several Bedouin tribes of the northern Arabia. The army camped at Mar az-Zahran, northeast of the Makkah, and the Quraysh were taken aback when they saw 10,000 torches on the hills at night. Abu Sufyan immediately approached the Holy Prophet ﷺ and submitted to Islam after a lot of negotiations. Next morning, the Prophet ﷺ divided his army in 4 columns with a head of each. First column was under his own command. Second under Abu Ubaidah bin al-Jarrah. Third under Saad bin Ubaidah. And fourth under Khalid bin Walid. Each was strictly instructed not to attack unless it was attacked. The Holy Kaaba, the house of the Abu Sufyan, and one's own house were declared as places of safety. So these 3 places were declared as the places of safety: the Holy Kaaba, the house of the Abu Sufyan, and own's house. So anyone who took shelter in these 3 places will be granted shelter. Okay. Accordingly, the Muslims' army entered quite peacefully and unattacked, except for Khalid's army. The Holy Prophet ﷺ approached the Holy Kaaba, performed its tawaf, and then purified it from all the idols. He recited this verse while destroying the idols: "Say truth has prevailed and falsehood perished, for falsehood is bound to perish." After this, he declared general amnesty for all his insulters and enemies. There were 17 culprits among the Quraysh from whom the Holy Prophet ﷺ had awarded the sentence of death. Regarding them, the Prophet ﷺ observed, even if one of them is found hiding under the covering of the Kaaba, he should not be spared. So 17 culprits were awarded sentence of death. The style of the Holy Prophet ﷺ's address His sentiments of kindness drew the hearts of the Meccans toward him so intensely as wealth and kingship could never have done. The people came forward to embrace Islam in multitudes. At this moment, the Prophet ﷺ told the Meccans, "You are the best people in the world. My love for you has no bounds. I would never have left you and gone to Medina. I would not have held anyone your equal. But what could I do? It is you who had exiled me from home." The Prophet ﷺ and his companions stayed in Mecca for a fortnight. During this time, the Prophet ﷺ arranged for the administration of the Mecca, which was now the part of the Islamic State. He also sent several missionary parties to preach Islam to non-Muslim tribes. The Prophet ﷺ then promptly proceeded to return journey to Medina. He ﷺ did not leave behind a single soldier in Mecca because the Ansars were worried at this moment of the conquest of the Mecca, because they thought now the Prophet ﷺ and the Muhajirin had their homes again. So they were worried either Muhammad ﷺ will return to Medina or not, but the Prophet ﷺ promptly returned to Medina because they promised, because he has to fulfill the promise. The next question in the topic is, what lessons can Muslims today learn from the Prophet ﷺ's conduct in the conquest of the Mecca? So this is another very important question which normally come in the paper, and if you want to get A grade, the points should be written in the paper are: candidates should establish a definite link between the quoted incidents and the contemporary world around us. So the question is, what lessons can Muslims today learn from the Prophet ﷺ's conduct in the conquest of the Mecca? The conquest of the Mecca provides lessons to Muslims today. The Holy Prophet ﷺ entered his native town in a sober and serene manner, without any feeling of the revenge or hatred. He expressed thanks to his Lord by performing tawaf of the Kaaba and recited Quranic verses in praise of the God. Muslims today need to revive their humble yet dignified attitude of the Holy Prophet ﷺ on similar occasions. So whenever God grants you some success, be sober. This is the first lesson which we can learn from Prophet ﷺ's conduct at that time. So Muslims, they should jubilate by expressing gratitude to God in moments of the victory and happiness, and forget all enmity of the past. So this is the lesson which we can learn. They should not look at their enemy with contempt, remembering that only God enabled them to gain victory or ability to overpower the enemy. Muslims have a lot to learn from this event of the Holy Prophet ﷺ's life. By declaring general pardon for his fatal enemies, he set great example of winning the hearts and developing the spirit of the generosity of one's own heart. Muslims need to inculcate such degree of the nobility, tolerance, and forgiveness in order to be successful in the long run. So this is the lesson. This is another lesson which we can learn. Forgive your enemies, because if you want to successful in the long run. Similarly, Holy Prophet ﷺ's conduct towards his insulters teaches the Muslim that they should never lose heart even in the worst possible circumstances. Instead, they should preserve their faith in Allah's help and support that definitely reaches the genuine servants of the Allah. Difficulties and setbacks should be taken as normal part of the noble mission of spreading Allah's message, and they indeed serve as a source of testing the faith and commitment of the believers. So these are the lessons which we can learn from Holy Prophet ﷺ's conduct at the conquest of the Makkah.